Now, normally I don't go over exceeding problems because it's supposed to be like your ability to take what we've learned and apply it in ways above our grade level. But these questions are actually a grade 7 grade level, just not part of our prioritized standards. So that's why I'm including them here, and why we'll go over, because this is something that you, like I stressed to you about order of operations, something that you need to know for when we move on to solving equations in a couple units. So for question number one, it's negative 13 plus 48 divided by 2 times negative 3 minus 4 times negative 10. And remember, we're doing our PEMDAS here. But the problem is when we do PEMDAS, a lot of times people always do multiplication before division, but that's not true. We have to go for both of these. It is left to right. So we start from the left-hand side and move to our right. What I like to do first when I have a problem like this is when I see any addition or subtractions, I look to see, is that breaking it up into a different part? If it's like here, I see a minus, but that's part of the number and we're multiplying, so it's part of that same grouping. But here it's negative 13 plus. So I'm going to highlight that one. And then here we have minus 4 times. So here I'm going to highlight that one as well, because what this does is it breaks our problem into the groups that we need to focus on. And we're going to learn this terminology later on. It's actually breaking them up into what are called terms. And then here I say, okay, my first term, my first group, all I have is negative 13, so there's nothing I can do with it. And now I'm going to focus on this group and this term individually. And then I see it's just multiplying and dividing, nothing else. So I have to go left to right. So the first thing I need to do is 48 divided by 2. And 48 divided by 2 gives me 24. And then I multiply by negative 3. So I have negative 13. I know a positive times negative is going to give me a negative. And 24 times 3 is going to give me negative 72. And then from here, so I'm done that grouping. From here, I see I have just multiplying. I have a negative times a negative, so I know it's going to give me a positive as my number, so I'm going to do positive. And 4 times 10 is 40. And now I did everything I can within each of those groups, and now I just have basic addition and subtraction for me to do. I'm going to do these first two numbers first since they're the same sign. So negative plus or minus 72 is we're going to add, so it's going to give me a negative 85 plus 40. The signs are different, so we will subtract, and negative 85 plus 40. So 85 minus 40 is 45, but the larger sign was negative, so my answer is minus 45. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do again is highlight where all my problems being broken up by the plus or minus into different terms or different parts or groupings. So here I have 1, 2, 3 groups again, or 3 terms again. And now I'm going to focus on each of them individually. Well, this 5 raised to the second power, 5 squared, is telling us 5 times 5, or 25. This number tells us how many times we're multiplying that base together. So this is then going to give me a positive 25. So the first thing I need to do here is my parentheses for P. So 7 minus 2 is 5. So I'm left with 3 times 5. So a positive times positive is going to give me a positive 15. And then here I need to go left to right. Well, positive 8 divided by positive 2 is a positive 4. Times 4 is then going to give me a positive 16. So this is one where if you didn't do it in correct order and you did 2 times 4 first and got 8 divided by 8, you would have got 1, but that is not correct because you're not following your order of operations properly. And then here we're just going to add 25 plus 15 is 40, and 40 plus 16 is 56. All right, so same thing with the other ones. I'm going to break these up. Here I see that we're subtracting the 2 multiplying coming after, and then we're adding this multiplying and dividing coming after that one. So once again, this one has 3 groups or 3 terms again. This first one, nothing's being done to it, so it is just 2/3. Here I have 1/6 times 3, or 3 over 6, which both of them are divisible by 3, so it becomes 1 over 2. And a negative times a positive is going to give me minus 1 over 2. And then I need to go left to right here. So 2 divided by 4. Well, both of these are divisible by 2, so it becomes 1 over 2, or 1/2. And then 1/2 times 2. We know that we said before, whenever we multiply by a fraction that has a 1 and then a number, we're just dividing by it. So we're just doing 2 divided by 2, which is going to be equal to 1. And it's all numbers are positive, so it's plus 1. All right, now we have fractions, so I can go ahead and write this 1 over 1, and I need to get common denominator. Well, the common denominator for all these is 6, so in order to turn this to a 6, we need to multiply it by 2 over 2. We need to multiply this one by 3 over 3, and this one by 6 over 6. So now we're going to go ahead and get 4 over 6 minus 3 over 6 plus 6 over 6. And once we get all of our denominators the same, we just add or subtract our numerators as is. So now we're going to do 4 minus 3, which is equal to 1, plus 6, which is equal to 7. So it is 7 over 6 is your final answer.